from the start, I could feel it in my heart, like all the way from the start.
Hey, what's going on out there? I'm Sean Devine. Hope you all are doing well. Today I have a demo and a full review of the all-new Waves CLA NX plugin. If you're not familiar with NX technology, this allows us to mix in virtual spaces with our headphones like this one, the legendary MixLA. The mixing control room from engineer Chris Lord-Alge has mixed a lot of huge records in this room, and they have meticulously modeled it using impulse responses, and then they've utilized some technology to give us the ability to have all the different monitoring that Chris Lord-Alge utilizes in the studio.
Don't want no smoke. If you do want smoke, this get tragic. Boy, you was up last year, but you broke right now. I don't know what happened. Phone doing numbers every day like ring. I ain't gassing niggas up, they can't go eat. Everywhere I go, keep my pole on me. Ain't no rules in this shit, so I gotta play for keeps. I've been grinding for a long time.
Before we check out all the different monitoring options we have and just hear what it's like to be in MixLA through NX, we need to go ahead and do a little bit of setup. And you're going to see we have two options. We can utilize a Bluetooth tracker, which this is a little device that you see. I've got it right here on top of my MDR 7506 headphones. But once you place that there, then we can just connect that, and you can utilize any headphones and it will be able to track your head movements and follow along, but that's not required. You can also use the camera tracker on your laptop or connect it to your computer. Just turn that on and then it will map your face and then follow your movements that way. Since my camera is off center right now, I'm going to utilize the Bluetooth tracking device. There's a little button up top. I'll just click that and then it should connect. And then we should see our tracking data down here. Yep, so we're good to go. And then we'll go to tracking device, just select the head tracker or your camera, or you can utilize both for even more accurate tracking. But then once we've done that, we want to calibrate it. So you'll see this button here, and what we want to do is just get in your ideal position, hit calibrate as you're looking ahead, and then we should see that tracking happening. Real quickly, I'm going to go ahead and select a headphone EQ, which they've got some different models here. If you see your headphones, I would highly recommend utilizing it. I have the MDR 7506. They're a pretty bright headphone with this EQ curve, much more useful. So I'm going to turn that on. I do hope that Waves will add some more models. You know, I use the DT770s, the HD25s from Sennheiser, some popular headphones. So hopefully this list will continue to grow over time. Now the head modeling, as far as the head size, these are just averages. If you don't know the circumference of your head or the ear-to-ear measurement, then just leave those as a default. But if you want the absolute most accurate modeling, then you want to go ahead and measure. So I've got a little tape measure here. The ear-to-ear, just go from back left to right here. And then the circumference, just go around the biggest part of your head all the way around. So we'll just go like somewhere up here. So I've learned today that I have a slightly larger than average head. Final thing I'm going to do is just adjust the master level. You will notice that you're going to place CLA NX as the last plugin on your stereo bus so that you can monitor your entire mix or your master. So just not to overload the stereo bus, I'm going to turn this back here. And let's take a listen to the first monitoring setup, which is the CLA 10s, the mains, and then he has a 12-inch subwoofer underneath the desk.
You go hard, boy.
Ain't been broke in a minute. Gotta thank God for that. Ass keep blowing me up, but I ain't gon' call her back. Ain't been broke in a minute. Gotta thank God for that. Ass keep blowing me up, but I ain't gon' call her back. Ain't been broke in a minute. 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 I went and got it, no handouts.
I haven't been in MixLA, but again, I've used the NS10s for a long time. I know this combo with it sitting up on the console, and it does a very similar thing with the vocals and just the way those NS10s are going to sound. So moving over to the mains, these are some big custom Ocean Way monitors up here, going to give us more of a low-end response.
Ain't been broke in a minute. Gotta thank God for that. And she blow me up, but I ain't gon' call her back. I ain't been broke in a minute. Gotta thank God for that. And she blow me up, but I ain't gon' call her back. I ain't been broke in a minute. 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 I went and got it, no handouts.
Great example there of the extension of the low end. These headphones, the 7506, notoriously thin, don't give you a very good display of your low end and your subs, but you could hear here with the NX and putting it up on the mains, the Ocean Way monitors, we're just getting a representation that I've never been able to get out of these headphones, and just extremely useful to be able to have that here. The last monitoring option we have here in Chris's studio would be the boombox in the rear of the room. This is a great real world reference. It's going to be useful for picking up on what it's going to sound like on smaller devices like your phone, a computer monitor, even the car to some extent.
And now, I ain't been broke in a minute. Gotta thank God for that. And she blow me up, but I ain't gon' call her back. I ain't been broke in a minute. Gotta thank God for that. And she blow me up, but I ain't gon' call her back. I ain't been broke in a minute.
I'm finding it extremely useful to be able to flick quickly between these three monitoring setups.
I ain't been broke in a minute. Gotta thank God for that. And she blow me up, but I ain't gon' call her back. I ain't been broke in a minute. Gotta thank God for that. And she blow me up, but I ain't gon' call her back. I ain't been broke in a minute. I ain't been broke in a minute. I ain't been broke in a minute. I ain't been broke in a minute.
The mains are obviously going to give you a perspective of the low end and the subs that you're just not going to get out of your headphones otherwise. The CLA-10 and the sub, this is just a combo that's been trusted by legendary studios all over the world for a reason. It's a very useful mixed perspective. It's also one that I've gotten used to in terms of this combo, and I don't even have my NS10 set up in my project studio. Obviously not able to be in a lot of the larger mixing control rooms here of recent. So having this is especially useful to me personally, just knowing this sort of sound. This is a very useful reference, just hearing them on the 7506, but I'd be curious to also try out some of the other models. I'd love to hear this on like a DT770, the 880, the 990 here, also great headphones, the HD600. You're not always going to be able to mix or master from your preferred listening space, which in my case is my project studio. I've acoustically treated this room to some extent. I know it. I also know these monitors because I've mixed on them for a long time. But when I don't have that luxury, when I'm on my headphones, on my laptop, on the plane, in the coffee shop, or just traveling or whatever, this is going to be an invaluable tool to have these references. If you want to check it out, there's a free trial. You can put it on your Mixbus, see how it sounds to you with your particular headphones. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about CLA NX. If you learn anything in the video, please like, subscribe, and consider sharing. Hit that notification bell for more, and we'll talk to you soon.